The meeting will now come to order. Welcome to the December 2nd, 2021 meeting of the City of Raleigh Appearance Commission. My name is Corey Bates and I am Chair of the Commission. Raleigh Appearance Commission is a public body appointed by the City Council that exercises both advisory and quasi-judicial functions. Appearance Commission's responsibilities relate to zoning and other land use matters, as well as visual quality and aesthetic characteristics of the city. We will consider the items in today's agenda slightly out of, we're going to not go in complete order that we normally would, but hopefully that'll help streamline the process a little bit. First item on today's agendas are requests for design alternates from the City Unified Development Ordinance. In hearing design alternates, the Appearance Commission sits as a quasi-judicial body, conducts an evidentiary hearing on the requests. That means it's like a court hearing, and state law sets specific procedures and rules concerning how the Commission must make its decision. When hearing quasi-judicial matters, the Appearance Commission has 9 regular members and 6 alternate members. Standard the applicant must meet to be granted their request is set forth in the UDO. The Commission hears and considers evidence presented at the hearing and applies the standard when making its decision. The Commission must base its decision upon competent material and substantial evidence presented at the hearing. Since today's meeting will be conducted remotely, in addition to the general quasi-judicial rules, today's evidentiary hearing will be conducted in accordance with state statutes that allow for evidentiary hearing during the current COVID-19 states of emergency. For the convenience of those participating today, I'm going to outline how we will conduct today's remote evidentiary hearing. First of all, witnesses must be sworn in. Because of the remote format, individuals who signed up to speak, as well as city staff participants, have already signed a written oath form, which will be reaffirmed record as they testify today. Participants have also already provided written consent to begin with staff presentation. A staff member from the Urban Design Center will introduce the request. Since design alternates are transportation related, a staff member from the Transportation Department is also present and available for additional information or to answer questions if needed. Following staff's presentation, the applicant will then be acknowledged to present their case and witnesses. The Commission will acknowledge the attorney or applicant for each case first, at that point as the point person for the applicant. Following the applicant, anyone else who signed up to participate in or support or opposition to the request will be given the opportunity to speak. The applicant will be given the opportunity for cross-examination as well as rebuttal and a closing statement. When all the testimony is complete, we will close the evidentiary hearing. The Commission will then deliberate and vote on the case. Following the meeting, the Commission's decision will be prepared, written findings of fact, and law. The decision will be incorporated into the meeting minutes and will be adopted at the time the meetings are adopted. Now conduct the evidentiary hearing on today's agenda. So the first evidentiary hearing, number 1, is DA 004-2021, 901 St. Albans Drive. Understanding is that the attorney for this case has notified staff that they would like to request a continuance until the January 6th, 2022 meeting. Attorney is present today to make the request on record. Ms. Ashton.
Thank you, Chair. This is Jennifer Ashton from Longleaf Law Partners on behalf of the applicant. We are asking for a continuance until the January 6th meeting. This project is almost at the end. We are just waiting for an easement to be signed, and then the request hopefully will be withdrawn at that point, or it should be withdrawn at that point once that easement is signed. So with that being said, we're just asking for that one last continuance.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Ashton. There's no concern from the Commission. The evidentiary hearing is continued to the Appearance Commission's January 6th, 2020.
Thank you.
Right. Second case today is DA 0022-2021. I believe the attorney for this case has also notified staff that they would like to request a continuance. Is the attorney available today? Is that Beth Trejos?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the Appearance Commission, Beth Trejos, Nelson Mullins. Yes, we would like to request a continuance to the January 6th meeting to continue our dialogue with staff.
Great, thank you. This evidentiary hearing was also continued to the Appearance Commission's January 6th, 2020.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and skip down to the fourth. Let's see here. I believe the fourth today, evidentiary hearing number 4 is DA 0024-2021. The attorney for this case has also notified staff that they would like to request a continuance until the January 6th meeting. The attorney is present today to make the request. For the record, Ms. Molly Stewart.
Thank you, Chair Bates. This is Molly Stewart, Morningstar Law Group, on behalf of the applicant. There are ongoing conversations with transportation staff, and therefore we would also like to request postponement until January.
Great, thank you, Ms. Stewart. The evidentiary hearing for this case is also continued to the Appearance Commission's January 6th meeting. All right, so let's go back to evidentiary hearing number 3, which is DA-0023-2021. Let's get us. We have Carter Pettibone and Menshaw Webb available. Let's go ahead for the staff presentation. I believe I need to swear you both in, correct?
And Chair Bates, if we have 5 members of the commission here, which would require a unanimous decision on this, I believe we wanted to, I'm not sure, Catherine, we want to offer the applicant the opportunity to continue if they'd like.
Sure, Toby. Yeah, as Carter has said, we have 5 commission members. We're required to have 5 positive votes for a case to continue. We have the option of continuing this till the next January 6th meeting or continuing today.
I think we want to continue today. I'm actually consulting with my client really quickly.
Okay, thank you.
All right, the remote nature of this makes it a little bit less than instant.
Toby, did I catch you right that you're waiting, you're discussing with that, or you're good?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My client just asked me a couple questions about it.
Okay.
All right, my apologies. Yes, we would like to go forward. Obviously, what we would ask for the board's indulgence that if there are board members with significant concerns, if you could let us know, ask that it then be continued. But we think this is something that should be relatively uneventful.
Great. That sounds good. Okay, so let's go ahead and swear you, Carter and Menshaw, in both same time. So Carter, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll provide today will be the truth, the whole truth, truth?
I do.
Menshaw, do you also swear or confirm that the testimony you'll provide today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Turn it over to you, Carter.
Okay, case DA 0023-2021, 4300 Fox Road. The request, sorry, I have a little technical issue. Applicant requests a 45-foot design alternate to UDO section 8.3.5.C.3, which requires driveways accessing up to 80-foot wide street rights of way be spaced at least 200 feet apart, center line to center line, in order to construct a driveway 155 feet apart, center line to center line, from a driveway located on the adjacent parcel, in order to construct two 24-unit apartment buildings on a 1.78 acre site zoned NX4, located at 4300 Fox Road. Happy to answer any questions. There's a zoning, NX4, actually, I'm sorry, conditional use is a zoning, or Mensa Webb is here with our transportation department.
Thank you, Carter. Any questions from the commission for staff at this time? Anything further for you to add, Mensa?
No, nothing further.
Okay, thank you. All right, the applicant will now present evidence and legal arguments in support of the request. As a reminder, the applicant, any evidence and argument must focus on the applicable standards. Turn over to you, Mr. Coleman.
Chair Bates, do you, I am an attorney, but do you want to swear me in? And David Lasley is also here with Pete.
I am happy to, I don't believe I need to swear you in, but I'm happy to swear in David Lasley, the other witnesses you have. It's fine.
David's it.
Okay, David, you go ahead and state your name and address and for the record.
Yes, David Lasley, 8522, 204 Six Forks Road, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Thank you. David, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right. Toby Coleman, I am here on behalf of the applicant. My address is 150 Fayetteville Street, Raleigh. As Carter outlined, this is a request for a design adjustment to driveway to be installed on the property 155 feet from the nearest driveway, which is just under the 200-foot driveway spacing requirement for mixed uses or non-residential uses. If you go to the next slide, that's actually really the key slide here. So hopefully you can see that. That gives you an overview. The project we're talking about here is the area obviously in white. It is the second phase of the existing Winslow Park apartments, which are the apartments to the south and to the east of those areas in white. It's on US 401 Lewisburg Road and Fox Road. It's north of Triangle Town Center, so we're up in North Raleigh here. Just to orient you on the specific standards, the standards at issue are in 8.3.5.C. That's the driveway standards. I know many of y'all are very familiar with this, but there's driveway standards for residential uses set out in the UDO, and then a separate section which sets out standards for mixed uses and non-residential uses. There's no question that both of the driveways at issue here, and you can see the driveways we're talking about. If you look at this, you can see there's a little 155 marking the driveway in white on the north side of Fox Road, and then the nearest driveway there. Those are the two driveways at issue. So both the driveways at issue for the Winslow Park Apartments, which is multifamily. There's no question that under the UDO, multifamily developments are defined as a residential use. If staff had applied the residential driveway standards for residential uses to this site plan, would not need to be here today because there's not a driveway spacing standard that would create an issue for residential uses. But the reason we're here today is that in the review, staff is, Mensa can probably speak more accurately to it, but my understanding is that the issue is likely that the underlying zoning is mixed use, CX and RX. And so based on, I think the underlying zoning, again, Mensa can correct me if I'm wrong, the staff has applied the mixed use standards for driveways, which requires 200 feet of spacing center line to center line on roads of 80 feet or less, which this one is. I'm not saying that really to try to litigate a code interpretation dispute. In fact, I'm not trying to do that at all. I'm just saying that just to sort of point out that it's clear that the UDO intended to permit driveways for residential uses to be closer than 200 feet. So this request is consistent with the UDO. Also just note that, in terms of reasonableness, we did get a careful review, as you would expect with staff on this. And, a lot of the options were run to ground. Long story short, it's not really feasible, and I'm sure David can answer questions, it's not really feasible to do a driveway onto US 401 Lewisburg Road because of the property's proximity to the Fox Road US 401 intersection, which is signalized. And then the frontage on Fox Road is only about 210 feet in length. The first half of that, or the western half of that, you can't put a driveway in, both under the street design manual, as well as you see there that there are some turn lanes and queuing areas that you don't want to conflict with for traffic safety reasons. So basically what you end up with is, if you're going to put a driveway on this site, you need to put it on the southwestern side there. And pretty much that entire area is within 200 feet of that existing drive that you see to the south and to the west. Staff did ask us if there was any way to just get rid of the driveway altogether and just do cross access. You can see that cross access is provided in this plan. The issue there is frankly fire safety, emergency services. As you can see, when you take if you try to draw a path from the existing driveway up to the new apartments, you have to take a pretty sharp turn within that parking area, and there's just not a sufficient turning radius for the large equipment that the fire services use. And so the most reasonable thing to do, absent having to redesign an existing parking lot, is just to put a new driveway there. And like I said, David is available to answer any technical questions. And again, given the limited number of commissioners, if y'all have any questions or concerns, we would appreciate the opportunity or the signal that if anybody has any concerns, if we could get the opportunity maybe to try to continue this as may be necessary. And I was just going to say, we stay available for questions.
Thank you for that. Believe that there are no additional participants in support that are signed up, or opponents, additional opponents signed up to speak either. So I'll happy to turn it back over to you, Toby, if you have anything further to add, closing statements if needed. Otherwise, I'm all open to commission.
No, we asked that, obviously we asked that our application and along with the information I just provided, I believe we provided sufficient evidence on all of the criteria.
Thank you. Any questions from the commission for the applicant at this time? Right. Any questions from the commission for staff before I go ahead and close this for deliberation? Being none, I will go ahead and close the evidentiary hearing and open questions. Any first thoughts, comments? I guess I'll go ahead and start it off. It's kind of quiet tonight. I think it seems pretty straightforward to me. I think, with the proximity to the intersection, Lewisburg Road, I think, want to keep it as far away, which is pretty much what they've done. Driveways aligning with each other also is another consideration that I think it's good design practice, which they've done. Which kind of pushes it towards that 150-foot, 5-foot distance. And as Toby has stated, with the residential kind of, with the findings of more of a residential and the cross connections they've provided to the existing complexes, I just don't see a problem. Open to other discussion.
Yeah, Corey, I tend to agree. I guess the city's take is, the playing devil's advocate, the take would be, if this ever did switch to a mixed use, they could keep the driveway the way it was, and it would be less than the UDO intent of mixed use driveway spacing. But I really don't see that happening, and I don't really see that as a major issue that would impede traffic or cause congestion or have cause a risk to safety way in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I think having the flexibility of having that entrance there, and then if traffic was to back up, there's always the option to go out further down to the south. So I don't see any issues.
I agree. I think that the mixed use, there's just more conflict points with mixed uses, and I think that's probably why there's a longer requirement. So with just residential, I don't see any issues.
Hearing all that, I'd make a motion to approve the case as presented.
I'll second.
Who was the second, Martha?
I think Martha beat me.
First,
Sorry.
second. Do we have any further discussion? Being none, I'll go ahead and do a roll call vote. Martha?
Yes.
Yes. Marcus?
Yes.
Candace?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
I say yes as well, so that's unanimous. Thank you very much, Toby.
Thank you all.
All right, I think that ends our business portion. That was in timely fashion. So I go ahead and see. Do we have any kind of report from our attorney?
Nope.
Ms. Hill? Nothing?
Nope. Nothing from me.
Okay, thank you. Working group reports. Carter, would you like to discuss anything with the Sir Walter Raleigh Awards?
Sure. I think I reached out to everyone on the commission as well as our sponsors and our vendors and let them know about the postponement until the first quarter of 2022. As with my departure, I think I mentioned Katie Dombrowski, our communications manager, and Brittany Waddell, our assistant director, will be handling the awards, coordinating with y'all and everyone else in participation with that. It's going to go great. We also have a little more time if you want to look at sponsorship, and I mentioned that to staff. Going to have our kind of final staff level meeting tomorrow to kind of close everything out from my end and hand off to them. But look forward to more information. I think Adam had might have something about next year's awards in terms of a type of award we want to talk about. But Adam, if you wanted to mention that, or if you wanted to just bring it up later when you have more folks available.
Yeah. Basically, Billy Warden, I think it's Billy Warden, was on the jury for Sir Walter, and during the deliberations, we talked about the validity of having a public art or something like a public art category, just because we seem to get quite a few entries, or at least some entries every year that could go into it. And I think we had hesitated in the past because we knew that there were other very similar types of awards in Raleigh that are specifically for public art or more art related activity. But Billy said he took it to some of the folks that might have more say and be involved in that, and there was interest in us in talking about us having a category as a part of Sir Walter Raleigh in the future. And I said, well, maybe we can all get together and talk about it, but I don't think we really need to do much now. But if folks have anything to say about that or want to be a part of that, I think we could make sure we include you or include your ideas.
Adam, I think that's come up every single year I've been on the commission. So that might be telling us something, and we may want to just pull the trigger on it.
Yeah. I haven't been on for nearly as long as you, but every year that I've been on, it's been in the conversation, and to hear from the folks that we were worried about stepping on their toes, that we probably aren't. That's probably a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. That's great.
Hey, Carter, one question. So I know you've been in touch with the artist for the certificate. Is there anything we need to do, or is Katie taking that over also?
She will. We have been working with them, one, to get them registered as a vendor. Second, we got them information for the winners. What we typically do is give them information, take the winner with the longest title or name and put that on there and do a mock-up. So that's what we've asked the applicant to do. And when they get back with us, I think we have Adam and Patrice and Megan kind of looking at that, moving it forward. So there's a little more time now, but we're waiting on to receive that kind of mock-up or draft. But I did relay the concerns about there's the French language and some other things. So I think we've kind of worked through that, and we're just looking for a kind of a draft from her.
Perfect.
Carter, on another note, with the awards, there were we had some discussions, and Adam and you and I, about some of those that weren't necessarily winners, but were doing good. I would like to write a letter to them on behalf of the Appearance Commission. If you have time and could send me, or if somebody could send me their information, address, any other information I could send them a letter, I would like to.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking that on, Corey. I think I certainly would have forgotten about that if you hadn't remembered.
Happy to do it. It's great to see that there are, even though they aren't necessarily winners, there's people out there doing good things for our community. So definitely, I think it'd be a good positive thing. All right. Any other information before we look at our minutes? I've been trying to stall, give you guys time to make sure that the meeting had a chance to review those. If so, is there a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve. That's Martha.
Martha, and I will second that. Any opposed? So that passes. Right. Any other business that anyone would like to bring up?
Corey, I'll just remind you about canceling the meeting on the 16th.
Yes. Thank you. We did decide that we had one that was going to come before us. We did move them to the first meeting in January. So we will have kind of a split meeting as we've done before that item in January. But we decided to give the rest of the commission the rest of the month off with everybody. So we'll look forward to getting back in January. And we'll also, towards the beginning of January, the first, second meeting, be looking towards some nominations for our chair again. Everything's been kind of radio silent. Nobody wants to talk about it, but be thinking about it. It's a new year. It's time to take on new roles. So I'm just sticking it out there. So we'll be talking about that the first part of next year as well.
Corey, I think you're just doing such a good job. It's kind of like, why make a change, you know?
I don't know. Got a lot of support behind me. Although one of my big support people is they keep leaving me. So all right, and then we also will need to get back in. Carter, maybe you can. Trying to think of we had somebody come in to present or come back to us to present from the Urban Design Center to talk more about our funding and what we can do with that this next year. Is that on the books anytime coming up?
If you mean the legacy project, I think I'll need to talk with Justin Rometta and Keegan McDonald, who'll be kind of taking over the commission as we move forward. But I'll coordinate with them to let them know kind of what you were all doing with the legacy project. And I think what we were going to do is have David Moore with the DRA come and give kind of an update of what you guys had already paid for, and then talk about possibilities kind of moving forward on that project. So I'll make sure to coordinate with that and the DRA and get them out to a meeting. Probably not on that first meeting in January. It sounds like it's pretty booked, but maybe the second meeting or in February.
Great. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you kind of let them know about that so it's on their radar.
Sure.
So we're pushing it off. It'd be good to have them back in before we get to the deadline. I'd like to have some time to really think about it this year and do something really good. Great. Any other business? Not Carter, man. I hope you keep in touch. You've done a great job for us. Appreciate all you've done. And speaking of the whole team here.
Yeah, thank you.
So we appreciate it.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you.
Wish we had a going away party. They have anything we can come and crash tomorrow, or?
I don't think we have anything planned. So maybe next year. Maybe come to the awards event and have a drink with y'all.
Yeah. But Carter, I'm still going to be able to see you around the neighborhood, right?
I would imagine you probably see me more.
Good.
Carter, I think it'd be nice if you could be available by text for all of our questions in the coming year. we'll put it on your calendar if you just send us your contact information, and then we'll make sure you clear your schedule for all the meetings.
Well, okay, if it gets to the point where I might need to suggest you take on a part-time in your budget if you need that. So, but I want to tell y'all thank you so much. Really working with the commission has been a highlight of my career. You guys, and I wish more of you were here, but yeah, I've worked with y'all for about 6 years now. I think when I first started, Candace was new. She's rolling off, so I'm going with her. But you guys are a tremendous resource for the city, for the development community, the design community, and I think that at times you're underutilized, and I really think that you're doing some great things, and just continue that, and just the advocacy and the cheerleading for good design in the city and in the community. So I want to thank you all for the opportunity. Like I said, it's been an honor to work with y'all. Thank you.
We appreciate that, Carter. So take a little sabbatical and then come join us on the commission. And then you could be chair. Be like full circle. But we really do appreciate your time, and we look forward to we'll get together. We'll get together in the new year. And
yeah, I think my family's gonna be excited that I actually have some Thursday nights I can actually spend with them. So, yeah.
Good.
Thank you all.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, Carter.
If there's nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and put the gavel down and call this meeting, and I'm going to roll on to my next meeting. Thank you all. Appreciate all your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good night.